Hello guys, my name is Big Zumbe. Welcome to another episode of Exotic Somali Bantu History. On this episode, we'll be talking about the Somali Bantu families which came to the United States of America in the year 2003. On this episode, we'll review the story of Walid and his family.
Walid is one of 13,000 Somali Bantu refugees who began to resettle in the United States in 2003.
I will pretend to ask Khalid questions that he will answer, and I will elaborate and give my point of view after his answers. Mr. Khalid, when you came to America, did the Americans recognize you? Did they know who you are?
More American, they didn't know what Somali Bantu are, but actually we came from Somalia.
Before Somalia, where were you from originally?
We came from a part of Africa, and it's Mozambique and Malawi.
Just like any other language group, the Bantus, they were also migrating from place to place in search of fertile land for their agricultural activities. So just like what Khalid said, I have to add some on that. There are countries like Cameroon, Congo, Tanzania. Those are also places that Bantu migrated, and some of them were taken from Zanzibar and shipped to Somali coast so that they can be taken to Saudi Arabia, maybe other Arabian countries where they went to work on plantations. Mr. Walid, tell us, how did you end up in Somalia as Bantus?
So, as we are Somalians, or Somali Bantu, we go to Somalia as a slaver.
That is a fact because the Bantus ended up in Somalia as slaves during the slavery period.
In the 1800s, Arab slave traders invaded Southeast Africa and took Somali Bantu people from their homes to work on plantations in Somalia.
According to my point of view, the Bantus were not being taken to Somalia as slaves to work in Somali plantation. They were being taken to Somalia because Somalia was a trading center where the slaves were being sold, so it was like a stop for them to wait for the next shipment. So they waited for the ships to take them through the Indian Ocean to Saudi Arabia or other parts of the world that were buying slaves.
Over time, they escaped slavery and established their own farms in southern Somalia.
Yes, that is true. At some point, the Bantus were able to escape slavery. They went into hiding into some parts of Somalia. They were hiding for so long, but at the same time looking for productive lands that they could start their agricultural activities. So in their lookout, they ended up finding River Juba and River Shabelle, and that's where they started their settlements, and they are living there until today. Mr. Walid, tell us, what was it like to be a Somali Bantu in Somalia?
If you are Somali Bantu, you cannot go to school. You cannot. If you have to go to school, you have to pay a lot of money, double money, and we cannot afford to pay that more money.
Power of any nation or any language group lies on education. You have to be educated for you to know about your surroundings. So if you are not educated or you are less educated, that really brings a society to a failure. Mr. Walid, when you talk about Bantus being denied education, who are you talking about mostly?
I'm talking about the president of Somalia, and he's called Siad Barre. You know, he's very, very unkind to the people, especially Somali Bantus. He was very unkind to them.
Siad Barre was a general, but after the death of Abdul Rashid Ali Sharmake, the second president of Somalia, he organized a coup d'etat around October 21, 1969, and took over the power. So from that time he was ruling till 1993 when his power was overthrown. He ended up going to Nigeria, and he died there as a refugee in Nigeria. These are other pains that Somali Bantu went through while in Somalia.
The Somali Bantu endured severe discrimination at the hands of the Somali majority. They were denied jobs, education, and land ownership based on cultural and physical differences, and their history as slaves.
One thing to be sure, there is no pain that overcomes the pain that a person goes through when you are in a country that you call home, but nobody wants you.
Ethnic discrimination contributed to the disaster that came to Somali Bantu villages during Somalia's civil war in the early 1990s.
And the civil war that took place in 1990 sent a lot of Bantus, Somali Bantus, leaving the country and going to places like Dadaab, Kakuma, Kenya, and some of them went to Tanzania. Mr. Walid, are there things that the Somali Jila did to the Somali Bantu that you feel bad about?
As you are Somali Bantu, they will come to you that they will tell you that bring whatever you have. If you refuse, they will kill you at that time.
Mr. Walid, is there something else you want to tell us?
They denied our land. They said you don't have any land over there. So we have no land right now.
It really hurts when you are ready to do something and you don't get resources to do it. Like if you want a land and the government or maybe some government officials are denying you the rights to have a land, that's really painful, and people might have gone through a lot of depression through that. Mr. Walid, what was it like? What did you do in 1990s when there was civil war outbreak?
When the crash was, when the war, people were fighting. So I ran away from my family and they ran away from me. So nobody can take care of me because each and everybody is running for his own life.
That must have been very hard for all the children who had to flee and they had to run away from their parents, because like you said, Mr. Walid, everybody was running for their life. I'm glad you are safe. I'm glad you made it out alive. After fleeing Somalia, where did you go exactly?
That's why I ran away and I came to Kenya. Then when I stayed there for about 12 years, then my father and my mother, they came to Kenya. Then they met me there and they wandered. And
I'm sorry I had to cut you short, Mr. Walid. What were your parents thinking? Why were they thinking? Why would they leave you to stay on your own for 12 years?
They thought that I was dead. But when they see me to Kenya, they were very happy to see me there.
Guys, that was the short story about Walid and his family. I want you to comment in the comment section. Tell me, what would you do if you had to be separated with your family for 12 years and you have to live on your own in a refugee camp? I have been a refugee in a refugee camp and I know how it feels to be alone in a refugee camp. So what would you do if you found yourself in that type of situation? So please don't forget to subscribe, turn on notification, share to other people so we can reach as many people as we can. Please meet me on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Peace out.